do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm so excited about today's topic, the 12 best ways to increase your listing inventory in the next 30 days. My name is Julie, and I'll be your moderator today. To get the most from today's session, we'd really like you to focus on audio, not the visuals. Text your questions using the Q&A section there on the control panel, and we'll take as many questions as we're able. So take good notes, and we're ready to rock and roll. If at any time after the webinar you'd like to connect with Darryl or our team, you can find him online on all social media platforms with the handle @DarrylSpeaks. Darryl's been in the business for more than 25 years, training and coaching agents in his one-day speaking engagements all over the globe, his training program, his 3 books, his powerful coaching training and marketing program, thepowerprogram.com. Darryl likes to have lots of fun with his audiences. As you can see in this next picture, they like to have fun as well. It's not just about fun. Darryl gets to the heart of what agents are looking for. He's seen here calling FSBOs from the stage. He teaches agents how to get 4 out of 5 FSBO appointments they call. He is the author of 3 books, all published by McGraw-Hill. The first one, How to Become a Power Agent in Real Estate, is actually the #1 book sold to realtors on Amazon. Darryl was also named as one of the top 5 coaches in real estate by Riz Media. If you can't make out those other folks, don't you worry about that. They're not on today's call.
I love that part. I'm sorry, Julie. I love that part the most.
Darryl is a very proud recipient of the CSP Award, or designation from the National Association of Speakers. This prestigious honor is only given to the top 2% of professional speakers worldwide. He brings humor, heart, and how-tos all together for real estate professionals. He teaches real-world result techniques and solutions, and I'm thrilled to introduce him. Darryl, I'm going to let you take it away.
All right, good, Jules. Let me just get rid of these slides. So everybody, here's the commitment of this webinar. I'm going to share with you 12 strategies on how to generate income now, how to stay focused on top producing activities. Absolutely love falling in real estate again. Continuously build your pipeline for financial stability and never worry about your next deal. These are all the promises that we put on the webinar information that we promoted out to you guys. Couple of questions people ask is, am I going to be coming to the area? If you see that website right there, Power Agent Seminar, that's where we host the cities that I'm coming into when we're doing our free events. So if you want to find out where that is, which, by the way, I just remembered, I wanted to say something. I know we have power agents on this call from all over the world, and agents from all over the world. And, I just want to tell you folks in Austin, we've been really concerned about what's been happening with these packages. And I just want you to know our prayers have been with you. You've been on our mind every day for the last 3 weeks. But I'm happy to hear that they found that person, but still be diligent. Please be careful. Just stay away from any boxes for the next few weeks. Okay, question. Is this webinar a sales pitch? Yeah, let me be clear about something. This webinar is a bonus, a webinar for our power agents. And for those of our power agents that are on this call, I just want to be clear. This is not our monthly coaching call that we do. On those calls, you can ask questions. It's more interactive, where I'm going to coach you on your specific challenges that you have. This webinar is more of a sit and listen. Now, we will try and get to questions at the end of the webinar. I have a lot to teach you, so we'll see how we go with that. If you have questions, make sure that you text them in the chat thing on the side, like Julie said. Now, we're going to be emailing you this. The slide is incorrect. It says they're in a panel to download. We try to upload the bonuses that we promised you, and so that didn't work. So we're going to email it to you. Everybody that's on this call, I want you to check your spam folders. You're going to get, as a gift for just being on this call, an actual summary of this call with the 12 strategies. So it's an ebook, okay? And actually, this webinar is going to go into it a lot more detail. You're also going to get this weekly planner to help you stay focused on the 12 strategies I'm going to cover with you. There's also a listing inventory chart that you can print out to help you stay focused on building inventory, plus something that our power agents are very familiar with, which is the dot board. I'm not going to talk about it on this call, but this is a way to help you acknowledge yourself in your production each and every month. I'd like you all to write down this because we have some agents that are not power agents on this call, and we've gotten a lot of questions what the power program is. Let me just cover that for the next couple of minutes, and then I'm going to get into the 12 strategies. But what I'd like you to do is write down that website right there, thepowerprogram.com/webinar bonus. Please don't go there now. Just stay with me. Just write it down and go to it at the end of the webinar. But I do want to tell you what this is because, again, a lot of questions about it. This is our membership that's only $27 a month. We're going to offer something today where you guys can get into it for free for 30 days, which you're going to want to because you can download so much stuff. The good thing is you can cancel anytime, so it's not a long time commitment. Now, the commitment we have with our power agents is to help them on these 3 skill sets. Now, separate from the power program, this is a little bonus thing I want to teach you. What I've learned in real estate is there's these 3 sets of skill that these 3 skill sets that we need to master. One is our attitude, because I don't have to tell you, if we don't feel like prospecting and we don't feel like working, our feelings kind of dictate what we do. So you can have the best listing and selling techniques, but if your heart's not in it, you're not passionate about your business. So you've got to always keep improving your attitude. I like what Zig Ziglar said, your attitude is like taking a shower. You don't do it just once. You got to keep doing it every day to focus on keeping that positive attitude. There's obviously the listing and selling skills of real estate, what to say, when to say it, and how to say it when you're belly to belly, face to face with a buyer or seller. And then, of course, the third is running your business like a business, managing your money, self-promotion. And these are the 3 skill sets we try and help our power agents with. That's the focus on what we do. There's a dedicated website, and just to point out a few things, and then we will get into those 12 strategies. Every month we have a group coaching call. Again, power agents, this is a bonus webinar for you and for the guests. We're also interview top agents every month, and we record those along with a magazine. This is just 3 months of magazines and some really great successful power agents who are making 6 figures sharing their secrets. But what I'm proud of is the website is a place for you to get resources. All of these links are downloadable forms and checklists and flyers. And I'm going to be teaching from some of those today. This is a newsletter we send out every week to everybody. This is a Facebook closed group that we have that has a ton of stuff that we upload. So those of you that are new power agents, you need to make sure that you're paying attention to this stuff. Now, next Thursday, March 29th, we're going to have, just for our power agents, a FSBO and expired class where I'm going to actually role play with people on the dialogue. We're just going to talk about FSBOs and expireds and dialogue and prospecting. We're going to touch upon that today, but I realized in doing this webinar that I needed to create a dedicated 1 hour, but that will not be open to other people. It will be exclusively just to our power agents. Now, let's get into this 12 strategies. This is one of the forms that we're going to be emailing you. So make sure you check your spam folder. You're going to notice on the screen, you've got the days of the weeks, and over to the left are these strategies, these sources to generate listings. The idea of this chart is as you're doing items, you want to at least do 1 item every day. That's the idea. This chart helps you stay focused on doing those activities. Now, the first one we're going to talk about, by the way, let me back up. I'm going to teach these in this order. You see FSBOs and expireds. So I'm going to be spending a few minutes on that, but there's other things I'm going to talk about. I know a lot of my students know that I love FSBOs and expireds. And again, we'll have that dedicated webinar, just that. One of our power agents, Michael Ardolino, he started as a new agent, and he really grabbed onto this, working FSBOs and expireds. His first year, he generated 71 listings, 64 sales, just in his first year, which I don't have to tell you is amazing. So and here's a picture. I'm sorry, I forgot this was here. I just did a seminar on Long Island in January. This is me calling FSBOs live. I just want to point out, you'll see in the bottom right, there's this guy. He's in shock that I'm actually doing it. This one, he can't even look at the top of the picture there. And then there's Tony Danino, one of my VIP power agents. He's just laughing. He thinks it's hysterical. So my point here is that I'm really strong with FSBOs and expired. So let me give you some ideas to help you with this. First of all, when you are working FSBOs and expireds, you're not going to get them the first time. So those are people you might have to nurture. So don't get discouraged. But what's great about the FSBO and the expired, we know these people want to sell now. They may be committed to price. This is an important concept. You know, some FSBOs that you call or that you see, they're really not committed to selling. They're committed to price. And that's an important distinction because you can't be committed to moving and be committed to price. How do you know? Well, you can't tell on the phone. When I go over the dialogue next week on this specific topic, we're going to break it down more. But here's what I want you to know is that the purpose of making a call to a FSBO is not to qualify them. It's to get in the door. So you don't pay any attention to anything they say on the phone because they may not be really honest with you. They haven't even met you yet. So it's when you go to that face-to-face meeting with the FSBO and you're asking questions, where you moved to, why there, when you need to get there by, what would happen to your plans if you didn't, is there a timeline when you want to have this happen? When you ask those qualifying questions that we teach our students, you'll find out just if they're committed to moving or if they're committed to price. Their buyers may not be buyers. The problem with a for sale by owner, if they have people coming through their front doors, they call them buyers. I don't have to tell you, in our business, we have people we're showing property to, and we think they're buyers, and they're not. They just, they just don't want to stay in the house, or it's sunny out and they want to do something. So, we in our business, we don't always get really qualified, committed buyers. Well, it's even more so with the for sale by owner, but they don't understand this. They think everybody, and I mean not everybody, but everybody that walks into their house is a serious buyer. There's no right time to call. People ask me that all the time. Should you call, at night? Should you call in the morning? Should you call on the weekends or during the week? My thinking is you should call whenever you're going to actually do it yourself. The biggest problem with working FSBOs is that we may not want to. So you have to get into a good habit with that. And you also want to get past the 60-second hump. When you're calling a for sale by owner, they're usually pretty tough and strong in the beginning. And but after 60 seconds, they kind of loosen up. So I tell power agents, just hang on for those first 60 seconds. Don't let the call end before 60 seconds. If you can hang on and onto that call for that time, you've got a 50% chance in getting that appointment. One last thing on this. There's 3 phases of mastery when it comes to working for sale by owners. The first is actually getting the listing. So you want to be able to improve your ratio, going on the appointment and actually getting it. The second level is getting the appointment. Now there's a difference between the two. So I've seen some agents, they're really good at getting in the door, but they're not good at leaving with the listing. What's the problem? They're probably not doing the listing conversation the right way to create a sense of urgency for the homeowner to actually sign the listing. Some agents are good at making the calls, but not getting in the door. I just talked to one of our VIP power agents yesterday, and that was her challenge. She was past the first phase, which is just making the call, getting in the habit of picking up the phone certain days at certain times. She's making calls, having conversations. But when we talked about it, she had like 40 conversations and only 3 appointments, which is really, by our standards, really, really low. And what we discovered when I role played with her was that she wasn't being aggressive enough not obnoxious aggressive. Those of you that know me, that's not my style. But she was giving up too easily, too soon. She was too scared. And so we improved on that, and we'll see how she makes out, because that was just yesterday. Now, again, because I'm going over 12 things here with you guys today, I don't have time going over this dialogue. That's why I just, again, write down this date, March 29th, where I'm going to really dig deep just on the FSBOs and expireds. And the power agents, you will get an email with the phone number to call. All right, FSBO mailings. One of the things that you want to do, this is some of the flyers that we put up, you're not only making calls to FSBOs, but there's things that you can give a for sale by owner that are maybe gifts. Like this might be a flyer to send to a FSBO to create that sense of them calling you. It's like, all right, I didn't think about this. Make flyers attractive, distribute flyers to 100 neighbors, advertising the, so you're helping a for sale by owner. If they're going to do it on their own, do it on their own. But really what you're doing with all of these tips is you're validating yourself. So there's another strategy, is doing a mailing campaign to your for sale by owners. Here's another example of another flyer that our power agents can download from the website saying, hey, listen, you know, if you're curious about the price, you're not sure what it is, are you on target, give me a call. I'll be happy to help you over the phone. This is, we have a series of letters that we give our power agents. This is number 14, to send out to FSBOs. We have enough letters to send to a seller every day for up to 3 weeks. And the idea here is to keep showing them that you're, now for those of you who are not power agents, I'm teaching you a concept here. You know, of course, if you're a power agent, download these letters. But if you're not, create a mailing campaign of several pieces where you talk about just one strategy that you use as an agent to help a homeowner. You know, Tom Hopkins came up with this idea years ago when I was an agent. It was called, he called it the For Sale by Owner First Aid Kit, which is he created this book of here's what you need to do to sell your own home. Here you go, Mr. Seller. And the idea is the homeowner would look at this big book and say, oh my gosh, you know, that's too much. Let me just hire an agent. I took Tom's idea, Tom Hopkins, and broke it up into these series of letters. Here's another mailing piece that you can send out to the FSBOs, telling them here's the top 100 reasons for a real estate agent why you should work with one. Now, again, for those of you that are just on this call with me the first time, sit down, figure out what are all of the things. Look at the screen right now. You know, how you research properties. I'm doing one at a time. Research sales activity on MLS, public records. You know, just create your own list of your top 100 things that you do as a real estate agent and create this flyer and send it to your homeowners. Again, for the power agents, where you're going to find what I just showed you, this is all on this category. When you go to the Power Program website, you click on Classroom, you'll see it at the top. You go to Building Listing Inventory. All of this stuff that I'm showing the power agents, you can download all of this stuff camera ready for you to just drop in your photo and your contact information. All right, here's number 2. Number 2, gang, is expireds. So working expireds, what I love about expireds is, well, I'm sorry, this is in the wrong order. I love that they feel rejected. That's not what I meant. So let me back up. So I love that. All right. They lost their vision, and I don't mean their eyesight. Here's what happens for an expired. For some of them, you know, they put their house on the market. They had this commitment to their next level, moving somewhere. Let me tell you something. Somebody that's willing to put their house on the market is like what they're actually making a commitment to is their future, right? Because they're going to sell their house and go to this whole new something. You know, most of the time it's a good thing. Sometimes, you know, it's not, divorce or bankruptcy or whatever, but most of the time it's like, hey, we're moving to our next level in our life. Very exciting. You know, it's the same thing we see with our students, our power agents. When they sign up to the power program, because of all the support that we give them, they're like, yes, my career's going to go to the next level. So in other words, when they sign up, they're actually taking action that's consistent with a commitment called next level. I'm going to have a financial breakthrough in my career. So it's very exciting. Same thing for the homeowner. When the homeowner signs a listing, that action is making a commitment to the future of their next level. They're very excited. Now, just imagine month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. They're on the market for 3-6 months. It doesn't sell. Can you feel the pain that this homeowner must feel? Their resignation may kick in. It's like, oh my gosh, this was not meant to be. And they get really, it's such a letdown for a lot of expireds. Part of your job in working with expireds is to breathe life back into that thing that they were committed to when they originally started this process. So I'm talking a little psychology here, but it's very powerful distinction. And if you keep this in mind, you'll be more effective with your telephone calls. You'll be more empathetic and face to face. Now, here's the part that I like that I misspoke. They're like fruit. They kind of ripen. So the thing about expireds, some of you have had expireds and you never got them relisted. And if you only had them for another 30 or 60 days, it would have sold. So here's the other thing they've learned about proper pricing. They realized the price that they had didn't work. And so when they come out with a new agent, almost always it's at a more aggressive, lower price. So I like expireds almost better than FSBOs because of those reasons. Now, when I see you guys next week, I'm sorry for the guests on the call, the power agents, we're going to go through the expired dialogue too. We're going to break it down. Let's talk about some of the mailings. Here's a flyer that so you can call expireds and also do mailings. You can call FSBOs and also do mailings. I suggest doing both. They support each other. Mm-hmm. And here's an example of a flyer that you guys can create on your own, or the power agent should download it. Here's something else. Here's a letter that you can actually, this letter is actually, this is pretty cool. One of our power agents told us about this, has great results. This is a letter that you can actually send to the listing agent. So if there's a listing agent that has a listing that's going to expire in a couple of weeks, you tell them, hey, listen, sometimes they just don't sell. Sometimes you got to switch it up. And I'd love to work some kind of referral plan with you. If you can, if you're not able to relist these people, if you can, that'd be great. So there's a pretty creative idea on getting other agents to refer their expired listings to you. This one here, letter 7, again, just you want to drip campaign expired. Sometimes it's hard. We can't get their phone numbers, and that's why we created the letter system too. So again, gang, think of these letters that you can send out to FSBOs and expireds. Let's talk about old expireds and old FSBOs. I'm not talking about senior citizens here, although that could be a market. By the way, if you guys have questions, you can. Julie, is anybody asking questions yet?
Everybody wants to know if the recording will be available.
Well,
and
you know
I've let them know that we are going to have it in Power Agent program, in the Power program.
Yeah, we'll definitely have this for our power agents that we're recording for them. So one of our students, Brian Toole, I could see the long-term benefits result from utilizing the system. He increases listings by 60%. And he attributes it to this concept of old FSBOs and old expireds. Now, I want to just focus on this page for a second on step 3. Step 3, well, let me take it from the top. May I speak with Hannah? Hi, this is Darryl Davis Primarily. How are you? The reason why I'm calling is our records show you tried selling your home umpteen months ago. Is that correct? And I said, yeah. Well, the reason why I'm asking is our company did list a lot of homes during that time, and they did sell. I'm just curious, can I ask you, where are you folks thinking of moving? So there's the dialogue to kind of breathe life to old FSBOs. And I'm talking about FSBOs that were, listed, or expired, that expired 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Any of these old FSBOs and expireds, no one's working them because it's not on anybody's radar. So what I love about these old FSBOs and expireds is you have no competition. Yeah. Here's this one. I have a buyer looking in the neighborhood. I'm just going to focus in on that one paragraph. My buyers can buy your house as is, conditioned on the date of your choosing. So if you were to take a mailing list of old FSBOs and old expireds from several months ago and say, hey, listen, I've got a buyer who's looking to buy in the neighborhood. I know you were thinking of selling. Are you thinking about coming back to the market? Here is a letter. It's not for old FSBOs, but it's for vacant land. We find that there's a lot of vacant land in some markets that were also like old listings that kind of expired. So we put this letter together for our students. Now, that's just a duplicate. I'm sorry, this is a duplicate too here. Let me go to this now. All right, now, RedX. Some of my students, about the RedX system, because people will ask us, how do you get access to those old FSBOs and old expireds? We recommend this company. They have, when you sign up with this company, you actually get 6 months of all the old FSBOs, all the old expireds. So when you log in, you get an account. This is a testimonial from one of our students. She swears by this. Tina Rossetti, she makes over 20 grand, 200 grand a year. She has 20 listings at any one time. So she's a big fan of the Red system because when you log in, this is what it looks like. You know, here's your new leads. Here's your ones that you've called that are in progress, successful appointments. So let me go to the next slide here and see what it, yeah, when you click on it, this is one record. Okay, this is the homeowner's phone number, their email, the address, there's a picture, there's dialogue. Okay, now let me see the next screen. Give me 1 second. One of the things they have too, for those of you that are using the Red system, you may not be aware of this. It's called Storm Dialer, and what it does is it takes all your leads, and it dials it automatically for you. Now you'll notice on the screen it says here you can leave a voicemail automatically that you record saying, hey, this is Darryl from Power Realty. I was just calling about your ad. This is a great system where it'll dial it for you and it'll make you more effective getting more leads. So I love the Storm Dialer. It's part of the Red. For those of you that don't remember, we have the special for the power agents where you probably average about 150 a month to get the leads, and there's no setup fee, and the first 30 days are free. So power agents, make sure you're paying attention to the Red. Julie, are we giving this to even the non-power agents on this call?
I believe so.
I think you're right. Gang, we're going to email you a link so even the non-power agents can get this as one of the gifts that we want to give you on this call.
Perfect.
But listen, the most important thing, let me just change the screen. The most important thing that I want to convey to you about the Red system is that I said it before, I'm going to say it again, is it's when you get your account is already populated. You tell them what town you're in, you tell them what MLS you are. It's already populated with 6 months, going back 6 months of FISBILs and expireds. I mean, gosh darn it, man, that's a ton of leads just from that one thing. So anyway, okay, let's look at past clients. Now, past clients, Marie Lynn, one of our VIP power agents, she went from 60 grand and 209 in just the 12 months because she's been really good at this concept of working past clients. Now, I know some of you are not, so here's some dialogue. I'm just going to highlight it for you here. Hi, John. This is Darryl Davis, Parody. How are you? Great. I have to start off by saying, now keep in mind, you're calling somebody who is a past client that you might have lost touch with. So you'd say, I have to start by saying, I'm sorry that I lost touch with you. Things have been really crazy good here. And I was thinking of all my clients that I worked with in the past. So I just wanted to check in with you and see how you folks are doing. So this is the past client first phone call. If you've got people you've worked with over the years and you've lost touch, this is a great way for you to rebuild and reconnect with them. Houses for rent. By the way, Red also gives you that houses for rent leads. I love houses for rent. Same thing is there's people. Let me go back. Hang on. There's people. I got so much to give you. We're up to number 5. I didn't know if I can get it all 12 in. Number 5, the houses for rent. So this is another overlooked source of leads. There are people that are advertising their house for rent. They're bleeding money. They have no rent coming in. They're paying their own personal mortgage. And most agents are not working this unless they want to try and rent the property. What I'm suggesting is that you call these houses for rent, not to rent the house. Here's the dialogue that we have for our power agents. Hi, I'm calling about the rentals. The house still available? Well, hi, this is Darryl Davis, Power Realty. How are you? The reason why I'm calling is I do see you're renting your place. But I was wondering if I had someone who wanted to buy your house for a nice profit, would that be something you'd be interested in? And you can say however dialogue you want, but the concept is you want to make these calls. And I'm going to tell you something, you probably get 50% of these people who are bleeding money, they would consider you at least coming over, giving them a free updated market analysis on what it would cost to sell. Okay. Here's another, what you also could do. Now this is a fall flyer, like this is something that's designed to send out like during holidays, during the Halloween. But you can tweak this concept. If you've got any leads, whether it's a house for rent old FISBOs, old expireds. This flyer you can tweak and say, you know what, now's a really great time to sell. Like if we're going into the summer, buyers are more serious. You know, there's more buyers coming out during the summertime. You're going to get more attention from agents because so you can tweak this concept based on any time of year with that. Okay, new listings. So when new listings come to market, again, keep in mind your questions. Okay, so we're at 12:30. I'm halfway through these 12. Make sure you write them down or text it to Julie. I want to try and hear some of your questions towards the end. Whenever a new listing comes out, whether it's with your company or another company, here's my idea for you. So, power agents, this is a dialogue. Let me just circle this. Let me go through this dialogue a little quick here. The reason for the call is one of your neighbors recently hired us to sell their home. And because you live in the neighborhood, I thought you might want to know, oh, well, that's very nice of you. How much is it? It's a lovely home with great features, blah, blah, blah. Do you know of anybody? No, I don't. Well, I've got to tell you, we do expect a lot of buyer activity from this particular house. So this will create a situation where we may have more buyers than houses. Could I ask you, have you heard of anyone else who's mentioned that they're thinking about moving? I'm telling you, I love this dialogue. Now, my suggestion is to make calls anytime your company lists something, but I want you to do the same thing when another agent from another company, new listing, comes to market. Because any of you have been in real estate for a while, you know this concept, what I'm about to say. Whenever a listing comes out with one company, and then there's another listing in that area on that street that comes out, almost always it's with a different company than the first homeowner. And I believe the reason why that is, you know, one of my students, Martin Hammer, told me he gets 10 listings a year from this. He'll call around one of the other company's listings, calling those homeowners. And I think the thinking is that if the second homeowner lists their house with the first listing, their neighbor's going to know all their business through the real estate agent. So they almost go out of their way to pick a different agent. So this right here, this one idea could generate 10 listings a year for you. That's just number 6. Now, hang on a second. People can see. Okay. Same concept. You can actually, when a new listing comes out, you can do a mailing in that neighborhood with a copy of the information about the house, plus this flyer saying, you know what, the market's hot, but interest rates may be going up, sell now, lower mortgage payments, there's eager buyers. So creating some kind of flyer where you're promoting now's the time to sell. All right, here's another one. Whoops. Okay, where's the next one? Okay, smile stops. This is something new that we've created for our power agents. And what a smile stop is basically door knocking. But the reason why we call them smile stops, I'm going to show you. And by the way, yeah, Marty Sorrentino, one of our power agents, he's so good with this. He's, you know, he closed 50 million a year. He's got 2 offices that he works from, one in New York, one in the Carolinas, a really successful agent. His son now is in real estate. I just saw them down in the Carolinas. His son's kicking butt. He's one of our power agents. But anyway, I want to focus. This is something we uploaded on the Power Program website. I'm just going to focus in on the top. The reason why we call smile stops, I want to read that top to you. Smile stops are a fun reason to stop by for quick visits with past and potential customers to show your appreciation and to cultivate your connection and trust. So we create the acronym that SMILE. You want to S stands for service, to focus on serving, not selling. That's a big philosophy of my company. We don't want you to sell people, we want you to serve people. You know, you meet them face to face. Then when you meet them face to face, you want to invite them to share, you know, anything, right? And how you do that, ask questions. How long have you lived in the neighborhood? What do you like best about the neighborhood? You want to leave them with a token of gratitude and then elevate the relationship by following up with these people. Every top agent will tell you a lot of their business referral because they focus on elevating their relationships with others. Yeah, so here's 6 smile stops that we created for our students. You know, and I don't want to go through each one of these because I could probably do a seminar just on this, but You get a small gift bag filled with several individual with skillets, candies with a note saying, good clowns are like rainbows. It's hard to find and lucky to see. Uh, Peeps, put the Easter Peeps. Isn't Easter coming up now? I'm such a bad Catholic.
It is.
It is, right?
It's on April Fool's Day this year.
What's that?
It's on April Fool's Day this year.
Oh, it is? Okay. Yeah, I'm a horrible Catholic. I only know Christmas. I remember that one. And New Year's. That's not a Catholic holiday. All right, put Easter Peeps in a cell phone bag with notes saying, Happy Easter. Got any real estate questions? Have your peeps call mine. Seeds of success. The seeds of relationship grow when trust is cultivated. Just really cute little things. Purchase a bouquet of cut flowers or small pots of live flowers and attach a note. Business is blooming, and I want to thank you for your part in my journey. You know, obviously for past clients, give 5 potted thyme plants and add a note that says, hey, thanks for your time and for always being a valued customer. And the last one is you're the bomb. Wrap a giant bath bomb in a festive fabric or tissue and say, you're the bomb. Thanks for being such an awesome mom or valued customer or anything, right? So you could do that on Mother's Day, or you could just tweak it and saying, thanks for being a great homeowner in the community, you know? All right, so those are smile stops. Another one is people are, when they're thinking about selling, they're always thinking about, should we, you know, how many times have we heard this? You call somebody and say, we're not ready to sell because we got to do some improvements to get it ready to sell. So what's great about this concept of helping homeowners spend their money wisely is if they're interested in a piece like this, that's telling you that they're thinking about making the move, right? So this is another value-added piece as a smile stop or as a mailing that you can do something about improving the house. Neighborhood open houses. Let's talk about neighborhood open houses. All right, let me go to this. Now, for those of you that have the Red X, I just want to pause here for a second and tell you about GeoLeads. You'll see it in the upper left-hand corner. This is pretty cool. You'll see it says on the screen search 741 Taylor Avenue. So that's this property. And it says over to the right, it says nearest 50, get leads, show properties owned at least 2 years. So here's what happens with GeoLeads. You can download a farm area from the Red X. If let's say you have a new listing, you can download the neighbors that have been in the property for 2 years or more, or 1 year or more, or 6 months. Like you can tell this thing, the software, only show me the people who've been in there a few years, because it's a better chance that maybe they're thinking about selling after they lived in their home for a few years. You download it into this Excel, and there is your list of leads that you can do mailings to. So now when you get a new listing, you can focus on qualified homeowners that might be thinking about selling. Now, let me go back to the concept of neighborhood open house. What I did for you is I went to Office Max and I searched this. What does it say? Formal invitations. Now, if you look at this, it's like a wedding invitation. The envelope, there's a foil. You can pick this up at Michael's or even Vistaprint. You can have these done. And the concept, gang, is when we do public open houses, we usually will get buyers come through and the nosy neighbor. Here's the idea. The neighborhood open house, before you do the public open house, you invite the neighbors, go to Office Max, print out a wedding invitation looking piece. Excuse me, hand address the envelope, put a real stamp on it so it looks like a wedding invitation. And on this wedding invitation, you want to have it say you're personally invited to a neighborhood open house, okay? And then in there you have to say, because the homeowner will not be home, I will be managing this open house for them. Now, if you were to mail out 50 invitations to the neighbors saying, come check out your neighbor's home, you're going to have 50 nosy neighbors coming. This is awesome for several reasons. Number one, when you now do your public open house, you won't be wasting time with these fake buyers who are really neighbors, because you would have already gotten them out of the way by the neighborhood open house. That's number one. Number two, you're also, when you're showing the neighbors the house, you're not really trying to sell them the house. You're going through the house, having a conversation, saying, hey, do you have this style home? How long have you lived in this neighborhood? What do they like best about this neighborhood? Yada, yada, yada. Have you ever thought about moving? If you were going to move, where would you move to? When was the last time you had an updated market analysis? I think every homeowner should have it done at least once a year. Why don't I do this? I don't mind. Why don't I find the time? I can come over, look at your house, and give you an updated market analysis. If you have 50 homeowners come to this neighborhood open house, you should schedule at least 25, 30 listing appointments. Very simple, very powerful, very effective. Okay. Another thing is you can do an over-the-phone market analysis to the neighbors where you're telling them, listen, I'll tell you how much your house is worth over the phone. Now, what's brilliant about this is you'll have people who call that they wouldn't call you if they thought you were going to come over and sell them. So you do it over the phone. But here's the catch. When you do it over the phone, you want to build that relationship. So thanks, Mary. How many bedrooms, how many baths, how long have you lived in the neighborhood? Oh, you got kids, so do I, blah, blah, blah. So you're building a relationship. When you call back to give them their number, because you're going to go to the computer and pull out your comps, when you call them back, you're going to give them a big range. You're going to say, well, Mary, hey, it's Darryl Davis. How are you? Good. I did the updated the market analysis. And what I found is your house is worth somewhere between 400 and 475. Now, I know that's a big spread, but for me to really give you a more accurate number, I need to see the house. Before I called you, I checked my schedule. I'm actually going to be in the neighborhood tonight. Why don't I do this? I don't mind. I can come on by. I can give you more accurate number. I can leave the information with you that I pulled from the computer system. I have no problem doing that. So that's another way to generate listing appointments. Working vendors, number 9. All right, again, I'm going to go a little faster here. Working vendors, these are one of our students, John, he's so good at this. He made 300 grand second-year real estate from this technique. What you want to do is make a list of all the potential other vendors, attorneys, accountants, all these people. And again, Power Agents, this is on the website for you to download under listing inventory on Classroom. And what I would do is make a list of these names and then start building a relationship with these people. You want them to give you leads, but how you do that is also give them leads. So here's a letter like you can actually send out to your database saying, hey, dear Hannah, I've been looking for a special way to thank you for being such a great customer, blah, blah. It goes on and it basically talks about John O'Reilly, an investment counselor. So you can tell the vendors, the attorneys, financial planners, say, hey, listen, I want you to start sending me business. I'm going to start doing it for you. I like us to help grow together. So that's another very soft, powerful way. Another thing you can do with your vendors, now don't get hung up with the date of the data, because this is just a sample we created obviously several years ago for our students. But I wanted you to see this because it has such great stuff about it. Doing a seminar in your community on how to sell a home in today's market. Now you'll see down there the featured speakers, it has the 4 photos, right? So there's you, but then you might have some of your vendors that you want to build this relationships and tell them, listen, I'm going to put you on stage for 10, 15 minutes. If each one of your vendors did 15 minutes, that's 45, plus you do 15, that's an hour. And then if you have another 30 minutes for questions and answer and for you to close the seminar, raffle off a TV, have it at a nice hotel. I wanted you to see this flyer because there's a lot of great things that work about it. The color scheme, the bullets, the photos, where the date is. So the concept is good, but I wanted you to see this flyer. It's very attractive. Now, obviously, you want to tweak it. You can't use 2010. But that's not the point. So that's another thing you can do with your vendors. And one other thing, the vendors, if they're going to be guest speakers, they can help you offset the cost of mailings. They can offset the cost of the raffle, like the bank may do the raffle for the TV. Another one can help pay for the hotel. But most importantly, you have the vendors mail to their database. And now everybody's helping everybody fill up the room. And anybody that's in there has got to be a serious seller. They're coming to a seminar to hear about how to sell their house. So they're potential leads for you. And then you follow up with them. You call them. Okay, Julie, how are we doing here?
We are doing great.
Okay. I'm actually getting lightheaded because I did that all in one breath, 45 minutes. Now, let me tell you what an orphan is. These are not children without parents. I mean, they are, but not in this scenario. An orphan is people who bought a house through your office and the agent who is involved in that transaction is no longer working for the company. So here's the dialogue. I want to focus in on step 3. So, hi, I'm looking for Mary Jo. Hi, this is Darryl Davis. How are you? The reason for this call is to apologize. It seems as though you bought a home through us like 5 years ago, and the agent who was involved in that sale is no longer working for our company. The reason for the apology is it seems that we lost touch with you. So I've been appointed by our company to be your new representative. If you should ever need anything real estate related, I want you to feel free to call me. And then, of course, you go on and ask questions. By the way, how are you enjoying the house? Have you made any major improvements? So the point here, gang, is ask your broker or manager for all the closed files that the agent who worked for that did that deal is no longer working in your company, and you want to adopt them as your past clients. All right. You should then do a follow-up letter after the phone call, or you can do the letter before the phone call. And here's a sample of it, how I'm writing this letter because you bought her home through us. The agent's no longer working. I'm delighted to let you know that Mary Yada Yada has been specially selected. So this letter, the orphan letter, would be a letter that the broker or manager would send to the orphan. So actually, I would say the better model is to mail this letter out from the broker first to the orphan, and then you do a follow-up call to that letter. Using real estate videos. I could tell you we probably can do a webinar just on this, but let me back up. So one of the things that you should, if you want to do this, because this takes some work, because you want to be consistent. The key about videos and video blogging is being consistent. So we all have iPhone or smartphones. And so the concept here is you posting either on your Facebook page, your profile page, your business page, or community page, videos that are informative, whether they could be videos about, see, not just new listings. I mean, we'll always do that, right? We'll do a live video. I'm here at this open house. Come here at 10:10 Hana Hana. Come here 12 to 2. I'm giving alcohol. So we can do that. But gang, what I'm suggesting is talk about your community. Let's say you go to one of your pizzerias that you love in your community. Do a video like in front of the pizza. Say, hey, I just ate here at Roberto's Pizza. I just had this incredible baked ziti. I didn't even know that they had such great baked ziti. And you're living in the area, you got to come. So promoting the vendors, promoting the community, promoting the benefits of living in that's the kind of videos I'm talking about. You can still do the other listing videos, but now this is, we came across this flyer and the speaker that talks about doing live videos. I asked if I could post this because I think this is just so great. Look at number 19, Thanksgiving, 3 places to dine out, 3 best places. Top 5, here, number 7, top 5 reasons why Hana Hana is an incredible community. Number 8, 5 things you need to know as a first-time home buyer. Number 10, going over who pays for what. You can actually interview one of your vendors, a mortgage person. So you can have these videos can be 2 concepts. Number 1 is community stuff, and the other set of videos could be educational, where you're trying to help buyers and sellers understand the process of real estate. That's fun to do. The last thing is calling old friends. I don't know about you, but I have my smartphone. I have a lot of people in here that I haven't spoken to in years, and there's a lot. And so what I was thinking, what some of us can do, because I know this has happened to many of us, are like, I can't believe one of my good friends from high school, they know I'm in real estate, and they listed with somebody else. Why? Because you probably haven't stayed in touch with them. So, here's a dialogue I put together for our power agents. Hi, hey, Mary, this is a blast from the past. This is Darryl. How are you? Great. I was just going through my phone contacts, and I decided it was way too long since we talked. So how are you doing? Yeah, oh, I'm doing great. Okay, now talk about anything other than real estate. So, yeah, what's going on? Where are you working? How are the kids? Okay, cool. When they ask you what you're doing, when you feel there's an opening, you say, yeah, I'm in real estate, and I'm just loving it. And then share something you love about your business. It could be the company, it could be the people you work with, it could be some of the listings you got, but then you want to you want to talk positive about the market too, and then quickly get off that call and just move off that. You'll see the dialogue I put there. It says, but hey, I didn't want to call to talk business. I just wanted to say, hey, see how you're doing. In other words, you don't want to do not ask the question, do you know of anybody who's thinking about selling, unless it's a close friend, because then they'll feel slimed. So really have it be about getting reconnected with them, mentioning your real estate. The most important part, you'll see that in number 6, is to ask them what their social media handle is, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, and then put them into your follow-up through social media. And that's how you can get reconnected. You probably have a ton of people in your phones that you could be working, and I suggest that you do. Oh, here's one last thing I did for you. This is a great technique. If you were to, this could be a follow-up call to your friends. If you were to go to, like, let's say, I think it's Zillow, some of these companies, and you put in a list, or even your MLS, ask it to do a search of all the new properties or the houses for sale. Take a screenshot of it, just like I gave you here, and then you can do a mailing based on this, because people will recognize the map in the neighborhood and say, hey, I just want to give you an update. Here's some of the properties that are currently for sale. Here's some that sold. If you like, get more information, let me know. I love this idea, because when people see that, like, wow, there's some activity going on, and that's going to make people want to call you too. All right, so before we open up the questions, because we've got 10 minutes, I want to just help you guys with this website here. If you guys go to thepowerprogram.com/webinar bonus, okay, so webinar bonus, here, let me tell you what we've got for you. First of all, the program is only $27 a month, which is crazy, and your 30 days, the first 30 days are free. You get access to the entire website. A lot of this stuff that we went over today, our power agents get those for free. Now, one of the things we're doing as a bonus is giving a copy of today's slides to our power agents. So if you sign up today, before the day is up, also, we're going to get free access to the upcoming webinar next week, next Thursday, where we are going to record it. We are going to give it to our students, where we're going to just focus on the power of calling FSBOs and expireds. I want to burn through this really quick. The program, the Power Agent program, are live Power Hour calls. They're more interactive. This is a bonus call, so you can actually ask questions on the calls, and it's a conversation. The website has a plethora of information, and we archive the last year of material for you. There's a digital magazine every month, interviewing top agents every month. There's recommended vendors that we've negotiated deals with. There's a closed Facebook group for you. There is access to the RedX, of course, and you actually get 50% discount on all of our other stuff that people don't get access to. And it's really just for $27 a month. I tell people, I actually joke, if you signed up and during that 30 days, you could go to the website and print out like all the letters and all the flyers, like everything I covered today, and then cancel. So I just told you how you can rip us off. Now, well, you really could do that, but hopefully you'll want to, you'll see how great we are in supporting our agents. Again, power agents, you already have the phone number. It's in the website, but this is the date of the call. I'm going to email you, because it's not a webinar. I should have put webinar. It's going to be a conference call that we're going to talk. So a couple other things about this. So that's the webinar bonus, thepowerprogram.com/webinar bonus. I'm going to open up the call. Yes, that's it. I'm going to open up the call to questions now. Julie, did we get any questions or no?
We did. A lot of people are asking where they can get the letters, and I believe those are in the building listing inventory.
Yeah, so gang, after you go to that website at the bottom, so you go to thepowerprogram.com/webinar bonus, then you'll get the 30 days free of the Power Program. You're going to get an email that will actually send you to the exact place to get this stuff. But in case you get lost, I'm still going to email you this whole slide deck that I just did for you. So it'll be even easier. But there's a lot more on the website that I didn't talk about today. And those are all under the link called Classroom. You'll get that in the email. You just go to thepowerprogram.com/webinar bonus. Just sign up there, and we will take good care of you. And by the way, you can talk to us. Like, we have a phone number. Like, if you call our phone number, it doesn't. We have people who answer the phones. So
human beings.
What's that, Julie?
I said human beings.
Yeah, it's important because I don't know about you. Like, I'm so darn frustrated. I got some software that I got, and it wasn't working, and I got to go to like Twitter and ask for tech support. My company, we have human beings answer the phone. If it doesn't, it went to voicemail because we're tied up on the call, but we call you back. All right. What else, Julie?
How to keep track of leads and how often do you follow up?
Great question.
Best way to keep track.
All right, so this is a great question, everybody. So stay there with me, okay? Because I'm done, like, the selling of the Power Program. I'm still teaching now. How often should you follow up really depends on the call and the conversation. So a lot of sellers, they're going to want to push you off as long as possible. So don't go too long. Like, if somebody says, yeah, give us a couple of weeks. Well, I wouldn't wait a couple of weeks. I maybe wait a week. If somebody says, give us till, today's Wednesday, give us till Sunday, then I'd give them till Sunday and follow up Sunday night. So really, you have to, that's one of those things you have to feel out. Was there more to that question, Julie, or did I get it?
I believe they wanted to know how to keep track, so possibly a CRM.
CRM, yeah. The best CRMs out there are, I think, is Market Leader and also Top Producer. Those are the two CRMs that I'm a fan of. But there's other ones, and I will tell you the same thing about CRMs. You've got to take the time and do the research, because just because I like something doesn't mean you'll like it. It's like a diet. There's MetaFast and Nutrisystem and Weight Watchers. It's the one that you like that you're going to use. And CRMs are the same exact way.
Wonderful. This is a RedX question. Do they provide phone numbers, and how do they get the phone numbers and the information for the FSBOs and expired?
I'm sorry, Julie. I got a little distracted because I'm looking at a possible technical glitch here. So let me. I'm going to stop looking at it. Let me go. Ask that question again. Apologize.
I believe this is a RedX question. How do they get the phone numbers and the information for FSBOs and expired?
Yeah, if you go to RedX does how did they get it? I don't know. If I knew how RedX found it, then that would be their secret sauce that they're telling people. So, but I know they have a huge company, a huge team of people. If somebody advertises, I'll tell you how I think they do it. First of all, the expireds, that's easy. They have relationships with all the boards of realtors and all the MLS systems in the country. So what they do is they go into when you sign up, they go into your MLS and they download those leads, right? So that's one of the things that I know. As far as the FSBOs, I think what it is, like when you see something on the news, like everybody has the same news. I think when something goes out digitally about something, I don't want to say anything negative, but something in the news, all the newscast people get access to it, almost like a telecommunication, almost like an internet for news. And I think that's true when people advertise. When they advertise their house for sale, somehow it goes out into the digital world. And RedX has a membership that gets access to those leads because you actually pay big bucks to get access to one of these services. And I think that's how they do it.
Next question, can I accomplish success with mailings and emails and not phone calls?
Yeah, you can. I'm not a fan of the emails because emails are way too impersonal when it comes to If you're doing FSBOs or expireds, emails, I'm not a fan of it at all. If they're past clients and friends or family, well, you have a relationship with those. They're not going to delete you so quickly, but a FSBO, they'll delete you. So emails are my least favorite, but can still be effective if you have a relationship with the receiver. The next favorite would be mailings. But they take time to work. So that's why the FSBO letters we give our power agents, the expired letters, we want you to send them out every day because they get bombarded and it works. The next best thing is door knocking. So like doing the smile stops, dropping off flyers, things of value that we created. But the number one, I think, is the phone. And the reason why that to me is the favorite of, and I gave everything in David Letterman's top order, is because it's quicker. It's you can do so many more calls than knocking on doors, and it makes you stronger. Okay. Last question.
Awesome. We have a lot of people that are trying to sign up, and there's a promo code option. Do they need a promo code to sign up?
No, they shouldn't. So when you go to webinar bonus, you just, I think, enter your email first, and then the next page, there is a promo code field. You do not need that. Yes, that's a template. Yeah. Okay. That's a template.
Yeah, it's already zeroed out on the top.
It's still zeroed out. You'll see $27 and it's crossed out 0 for you for the 30 days. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, gang. So listen, we're going to end the call. And unless, Julie, there's something I have to address. Is there?
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay. So, gang, I hope you got value out of this and try to cram. I can't believe I did it. There's so much. I could probably spend an hour on each one of those. Power agents, look for the email about next week's call, which we're going to really role play with each other, and you'll be able to have more interaction with me. And go to the website. Gang, we're going to be sending you stuff, so just pay attention. Keep checking your junk mail. Thank you so much for taking the time. And again, a shout out to Austin. Stay strong, stay safe. And gang, listen, last thing, don't forget, we don't just help people buy and sell real estate. We actually help people get to their next level. And so the more buyers and sellers that you help make a difference and get them to their next level, the more money you make. The money you make is a gauge as to how many lives you've touched. So go touch a lot of lives and the money will follow. My name is Darryl Davis. Thanks for calling in. It was a pleasure. And I look forward to talking to you again on another webinar or conference call. Bye, gang.